Okay, so it starts. Hey, Jacob, nice to see you again.
Hello.
For all people that are joining us, Jacob and me, we are colleagues, yeah? And we had done a session against flight phobia some month ago, I would say now, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it was a month ago.
yeah. And I wanted to just talk to him because I often get questions, what is this about the fast phobia cure and how does it work? And so I asked Jacob if he would be willing to join and explain what we did and how you perceived it. And maybe you introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I'm Jacob. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Poland, and basically, I was scared of flying for the big part of my life. And yeah, I would say it changed since we did a small session with Heiko.
Mm.
And yeah, happy to chat about it.
Yeah, okay, great. Have you had all the time this yeah, light fear, or how did you describe it?
I would say I started flying when I was like really young, and since I was a little kid, I remember that when I was going on the plane, I was actually very excited. But over the years, when I was like 12, 13, and
Mm.
I was getting a little bit older, then this excitement turned into fear. So I was just started focusing on things that I shouldn't focus on and shouldn't think about, like this little sounds on the planes, what could happen during the takeoff, and then actually I started becoming terrified on the plane. So it
Mm.
wasn't a comfortable thing to do.
Mm. So really terrified. So how was it when you have been flying?
I would
Um,
say that the takeoffs were the hardest ones, the harder part for me of the journey, and yeah, I was just terrified in terms of what could happen. I strongly in my mind, I know that everything's gonna be okay,
mhm,
but it's just this fear and this
mhm.
constant thoughts that you shouldn't have. It's like, oh, what if this engine will
Yeah.
stop working, and this thoughts that I shouldn't have.
Okay. And was it like only in your mind, or did you also have like sweaty palms, or
Oh,
how?
I was sweated as hell.
Okay.
I would
Yeah.
say that, yeah, my especially my hands, my feet, yeah. When I was
Okay.
traveling with my friends or with my
Mm.
family, then I couldn't even like shake their hands and anything because I was so sweated.
Yeah, that's the thing in your mind. You know that usually it's the safest way to travel, but your body has like,
Yeah,
other
yeah.
people that really tense and sweat, and some people always have or also have problems in the days before flying. Yeah, and we met last year in November 2022, was it right?
Yes,
And
yes,
there
yes.
we or the in person, and I remember we had lunch at the ramen place, and it was our last day, and
Yeah.
you told me about it, and yeah, then we started. But before we dive into what we did, one question: if you would rate this like fear of flying, this phobia, on a scale between one, it's super easy, to 10, well, I'm like scared to death. Yeah, how strong would you say was it before?
I would say seven,
Mhm.
because I had my own little solutions to
Yeah.
fight it. So, for example, when I was on the plane, I like when I was boarding, I like
Mhm.
to, for example, open the flight radar, and then when
Mhm.
I saw like, okay, there are like 30,000 other flights in the
Yeah.
air right now.
Yeah.
So these little things helped me a little bit, but I think it was seven. It was seven, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good, good. So, yeah, and then it was this Saturday, Lisbon. We went back from our ramen lunch, and I don't know when you flew, it was like 5 o'clock or something like this. Yeah, and I told you told me, shit, I need to fly and I'm scared. And I said, okay, we can
Yeah.
remove it. Yeah. And I remember we have been walking there. What have been your thoughts when this dude told you, hey, it can be wiped away?
I was definitely interested. I usually don't have like negative thoughts like in the beginning when somebody is offering me something like that, when somebody is talking about something like this, because I know that this type of practices work. I was just interested, and I was a little bit confused because it happened so fast. It was like, oh no, we can. I remember I told you, oh, we can.
Next time we meet, we can
Yeah,
do it.
next time we meet in Germany, then we can do it. But then we just sat in the cafe place, and we started we started this small session, and yeah, I was pretty surprised afterwards, because I literally felt uh, I wasn't scared, like with the thought that I'm gonna board the plane in a few hours.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so for all the others which are listening, so phobia is some sort of neuro connection in your brain. You have a trigger and some body reaction, and maybe you can this this dog of Pavlov, where the bell rang and then he started to produce his fluids to salvia to eat, and for us humans, it's the same. If we have something like flying or animals or whatever, and if we have a very strong experience, suddenly we can get in the mood of fear, and our subconscious tries to protect ourselves. But with a conscious mind, we cannot really change this. And there is really a connection, a trigger that causes this body reaction. And in the same way, this can be learned either due to a very strong initial experience, or over time, like it was in your case. With this practice, you can really dissolve this trigger reaction path. And we did it on a cafe in Lisbon. It was like 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes, 30, something like this.
And I showed you explained you a little bit what to do, what to think. It was some sort of like movie with this topic. And as far as I remember, it was okay for you. So no fear or bad experience during this, right?
Oh, no.
Okay. And I remember that I said, okay, you have to promise me that you tell me how it was. Yeah. And it was Saturday, and didn't hear something on Saturday. I didn't hear something on Sunday, and you have not contacted me on Monday. And then I texted you, and you remember your answer?
Yeah. I told you that I slept the whole flight like a baby. It was
Yes, that was the second sentence. Yes, you wrote me. Oh, I was so scared. I said, what?
Oh, what?
Yeah. I was so
No,
scared. Yeah, sure.
about the flight.
No, you said I was so scared because I wasn't scared. It was the first
Oh
time that I
yes,
slept like a
I
baby.
was, yeah. That now I remember. Yeah, I was scared about the fact that I wasn't scared. Yes,
Yeah, it's a
I remember.
strange feeling if you had something like over the years and suddenly it's not there anymore. That was,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I was like, not really. I didn't have the impression. So, so the flight afterwards was super good. And how would you rate then the fear afterwards during this flight?
Oh no, during this flight, like literally a few hours after our session, I would say I didn't really have any fear.
So 0,
So
1, something like that.
I would say one, just one.
Okay. Yeah. And then have you taken the plane afterwards also in other flights?
I fly a lot basically, so I fly almost every month. And since that time, like we haven't repeated the sessions, like we didn't have the chance for it. So I have to say that my kind of fear of flying increased a little bit since that my flight from Lisbon. But it's not as hard as it used to be, definitely. So right now when I'm on the plane, I just remind myself about what we have done and how we have done it. And I just close my eyes and I'm trying to imagine this scenery and this little movie that you were explaining to me.
Mm.
And then when I'm opening my eyes on the plane, I'm like, okay, man, chill. It's all good. And then I'm not scared anymore. Like I still have this little bit of the sense when I'm boarding the plane.
Mm.
I'm not able to say that it's like super comfortable thing for me to do. But I definitely don't panic like I used to. So my hands are not sweating anymore. And I'm able to have a normal conversation with the person who sits next to me. And I'm not kind of I don't imagine this tragic things that could happen. So yeah,
So if you like, we can also repeat it at one time to like deepen it. It's a learning process in the mind, and it can be done one time. Some people it's gone completely with first time. Some people it's not completely gone, but vanishes over time. Also something where they recognize like 6 months later, hey, usually I was afraid of flight or height. Also, oh, it's gone. So I can offer it to you. Okay. Let me check if there's anything else. Maybe we could talk. From my side, I'm fine. Would you recommend it?
Definitely. From the like, it was very fast though. Like I was really surprised, and definitely if somebody's scared of flying, because it's all about subconsciousness, right? It's on the consciousness side, like you know that nothing's gonna happen to you, and that flying is just literally the safest option of transportation. But your subconsciousness is just kind of trying to save you from the thoughts and from the feelings that you cannot really control. So I think that session just kind of proved to me that sometimes you just have to trick it.
And if I would explain you before what we did, I guess you would not understand or believe that it works. If I say, hey, we do this and that, and you said, okay, nice. It would, at least it's my first impression when I heard about it. That cannot work, but it is. So yeah, that's the thing. Trick the subconscious and use it. That's the thing I want to do. Okay, Jakub, thank you very much. Thank you for your trust. Thank you that you talked about it, and wish you a very nice day.
Likewise, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me, and wishing you a great Sunday as well.
Okay, bye-bye.